Do not say because Sandra said or the Bible said God defends the widows, people should help the widows, give them food, and you fold your hands in a country like Nigeria. Hunger will kill you and your children. Hello guys, and welcome back to another beautiful episode of Talk with Sandra. I hope you guys enjoyed the last two episodes. We are still talking on the topic widowhood. So if you are new to this series or new to this channel, you're welcome to my channel. My name is Sandra, and this is a series I started recently, and I create videos on a particular topic per time, and we just bring it out and we talk about it. So for you to know where we are coming from, if you have not watched the last two videos, just kindly click back and check out the last two videos, so that by the time you watch this one, you know where we are and where we are going to. So we are still talking on the topic widowhood. Like I said before, it's a broad topic, okay? So we are going to like open it up. Open it up. And the ofen sala you don't just eat it anyhow. You have to settle down and open up every corner of it. And I'm so excited talking about this topic because it is where I am coming from. If you're meeting me for the first time, I used to be a widow and I remarried recently, okay? So in today's episode, we are going to be talking about how widowhood is being exaggerated, how people exaggerate widowhood, some of the things that widows do that, me personally, I don't like, and some of the things that the Bible said about widows and the other side of it. So if this is a kind of video you want to watch, sit back, relax, and I will be right. So welcome back, you guys. First of all, I want to still talk to widows in the house, because I know a lot of widows subscribe to this channel. So many young ladies that their parents are widows subscribe to my channel because of my stories back then. So I still want to encourage you. If you're a widow going through one challenge or another, I just want to encourage you. Look at me, okay? If God can pick me up from nowhere and bring me to the level I am today, I want to remind you that there is light at the end of the tunnel. Don't give up in life. Where you are now is not where you're going to remain. Pick up your broken pieces and keep moving. Keep the dice rolling. Very soon you're going to have the dice rolling in your favor. So I want to encourage you, keep at it. Don't give up. Don't lose hope. Don't see that the departure of your spouse, the departure of your husband or your wife is the end of the road. No, if you are a widower, the same still goes to you. Keep at it. Keep doing what you're doing, and God is going to show up in your case, because the Bible made it very clear to us that God is the husband of the widows. In my own interpretation, I would say that God is the husband of the widow and God is the wife of the widower. So having said that, let me start by telling you guys the Bible verses I think that are for widows and on the other hand are being abused, okay, by some widows. Not everyone, some of them. I have it typed out here in my second phone, so I'm going to be looking down to read out, because I also have my Bible in this phone. The very first one is Exodus 22 verse 22. Let's talk about that Bible verse. Do not take advantage of the widow. The Bible is telling us that we should not take advantage of the widow. Apart from the Bible saying this, if you are a woman, see yourself as if you just lost your husband. Think about it. Take 1 minute, okay, to think about the possibilities of you, because it can happen to anybody. I am not saying you're going to lose your spouse, but I'm saying that it can happen to anybody at all. Just put yourself in the shoes of those widows out there. Imagine it that, okay, fine, I just lost my husband. What is going to happen to me? What am I going to start? If you're currently working, is it going to affect your job? If you're not working, you're a housewife just like I was back then, how are you going to feel? Where will you start from? Look at your children around you, whether they are, even if they are grown-ups or maybe they are still very tender. Look at them. What is going to be their fate in life? These are things I need you to consider as a woman, okay? Or even as a man, losing your wife like right now, and you see yourself going through a lot, raising the children alone, doing the job of the wife, doing house chores, which I know is very difficult for so many men out there, and seeing yourself doing so many other things that you can't even do on a normal day. Seeing yourself doing those things that your husband is used to do for you, or those things that your wife used to do when she was there. Take 1 minute and imagine this, and then you will arrive at the point I'm driving at. That's exactly what that widow or that widower is going through, okay? Losing their spouse. So I want you to see it like that. We are not praying to lose our spouse. Widows that lost their husband, or people that lost their wife, they didn't pray for that. On the day of their wedding or their traditional marriage, they never dreamt of such a thing. Nobody marries a woman in order to make her a widow. No husband goes to marry a wife and believes that, oh, I'm dying very soon, let me just marry her so that I will die and she will stay to suffer. No woman goes into a marriage with the hope of, oh, I'm going to lose my husband very soon. Every other person married for love and married to spend the rest of their life with their spouse. So nobody marries to lose their loved one. So imagine if such a thing comes up, what is going to be the fate of that person? What is going to happen? That is what I want you to understand. Okay, I'm not saying that you're going to lose your spouse. God forbid it. It's never going to be our portion. I don't even wish that on my enemy. So back to this Bible verse. The Bible said, do not take advantage of the widow. I'm trying to say that even if you're not a Christian, you don't go to church, okay? You are a traditionalist. You should know that what you want people to do to you is what you also do to people. If you don't want people to be mean to you, people to, if you still, because it's still the same pain that we all feel when we lose our loved ones. It's still the same pain, okay? So whether a traditionalist or maybe a Christian that believes in what the Bible says, it is typically human to be nice to people that are grieving, okay? Especially when it has to do with the loss of a loved one untimely, okay, or a spouse untimely, or when it has to do with the loss of parents prematurely and the children are still very tender. These are the kind of people that you need to show mercy when you see them, because it's very difficult for them. Trust me, it's a place I'm coming from and I know how painful it is. If you're not strong, it's not something you can pull through without help. Do not take advantage of a widow. It's very wrong, okay, for you to take advantage of a widow. And reading further, it says, or the fatherless, just like I said, the orphan, when people's parents die untimely, the fatherless children, is still talking about a widow. This Bible verse is still talking about a widow here, okay? Imagine a woman that has lost her husband. Her children are fatherless children. The Bible said, do not take advantage of them. Don't go about taking their properties. Don't go about taking the woman's land, trying to force yourself on her to sleep with her, against her. We don't go about forcing her to remain in the family. Give her time to heal, okay? Don't start rushing up and down, trying to claim her husband's property. That is what this Bible verse is trying to tell us. If you do, and the Bible is also trying to warn us, if you do, and they cry out to me, that is God telling you that when they cry out to him, I will certainly hear their cry. Imagine when God comes to the rescue of someone. God stepping into the case of a particular person. Let me give this as an example. Imagine someone that has been prosecuted by an earthly judge, prosecuted and said, okay, this person is going to die. I am passing the judgment of death on this person. And God comes down to say this person is not going to die. That is a typical example of what I'm trying to say. There is no other person's opinion that matters at that point. That is what this Bible verse is trying to say. If you take advantage of a widow and they cry out to God, even if they don't cry out to God, he will hear them, because he sees and knows every single thing that happens on earth, okay? That is what this Bible verse is trying to let us to understand. And the second one I want to also talk about is Deuteronomy 10:18. It says, and I quote, he defends the cause of the fatherless and the widow. He's talking about, this is the Bible telling us about God. God defends the cause of the fatherless and the widow. This is the Bible telling us that God defends the cause of the fatherless and the widow. Meaning that God is interested in their case, especially. God has a special interest in their case, because he said it, that he is the husband of the widow and the father to the fatherless. Okay, imagine when you as a woman, you are a widow and somebody is trying to, harm your child. You know how you're going to fight like a tigress and a lioness and defend your child. Imagine God fighting for you. Imagine God defending your cause. Imagine when people are accusing you wrongly and God steps in and decides to, oh, I want to vindicate this person now. I am interested in this case. Imagine when something is happening maybe in a central police station around you and order comes from Abuja to say, okay, the presidency is interested in this case. That's a typical example of what I'm trying to say. Imagine when a case is in court or in police custody and they get and the DPO of that station gets a report that, okay, the presidency is interested in this case. My dear, there is nothing else that DPO can do for you. That is what this Bible verse is trying to let us to understand. God is interested in the case of widows and the fatherless and foreigners among us. Who is a foreigner among you? That person that is not bloodly related with you, that you meet on daily basis, your business partners, people around you, they are the foreigners around you. We're not going to go into that today because we're talking about the fatherless and the widows, okay? So, this is to show you that God is interested in the widows. And God is also trying to tell us to give them food and clothing. One of the commonest needs of a widow is, it's either, if she's not battling her husband's family or maybe outsiders trying to take away her husband's property, one of her commonest problems is food. I mean a widow that has nothing. Because there are so many people that their husband died and they still left so many things for them. Okay, and the husband's family did not put interest in what the husband left behind. Maybe everybody in the family is doing well, nobody's envying anybody, and nobody is interested in what their brother left behind. Such families are rare, I must confess, but they exist. Okay, they exist, and I've seen one that is very close to me. It's even the husband's family that is taking care of the woman and her children, but it's not like that every other place. So one of the commonest need a woman have when her husband leaves is her children, especially a widow with children. She needs food to put on the table of her children. She needs clothing for them. She needs them to get back to school. She needs them to stand up again, face life once again. So they need you to give them hope. Give them food and clothing. If they don't have shelter, give them shelter. That is what the Bible is preaching. Apart from the Bible preaching this common, like our conscience should tell us this. Normally, naturally, is the right thing to do. Even without seeing it in the Bible, is the right thing for us to do. Okay, so that is another Bible verse I want to talk about. These 3 Bible verses are Bible verses that helped me so much during my widowhood journey. Whenever I read them, and I just calm my spirit down, and I know that God is right there watching whatever it is I was going through at that time. So the third Bible verse that gives me so much hope that I also want to talk about here, that I know that it is coming from the deepest part of God's heart for widows and fatherless children, is Psalm 65 verse 8. Okay, it says, I am the father to the fatherless. It says that God is a father to the fatherless and a defender of the widows, and that he is still in his dwelling place. He's trying to let us know that a father to the fatherless and a defender of the widows is God in his dwelling place. This simply means that God is the defender of the widows. This simply means that when you try to fight them, God stands to defend them. And trust me, I have never seen anyone that maltreated a widow or a fatherless, or even anyone around you in general, that goes scot-free. When you maltreat people around you, trust me, you're going to get it. I'm speaking to so many elders in so many villages. You see them doing all manner of evil to people in the name of tradition. You see them trying to do all manner of, trying to exploit widows. You see an old man that is supposed to be resting, that should be tired of sleeping with women, trying to force himself, all in the name of tradition, upon a young girl of 20 or 25 that lost her husband. All these things are evil. If the woman is interested in retaining her husband's lineage in that family, or if the woman is interested in continuing, but when she is not, can you people please let her be? That's what I'm trying to say. All these Bible verses I just quoted out is God telling us that he is interested in widows and he is their defender. Now that I've read out these Bible verses, I want to arrive at the point where I said widowhood is being exaggerated. Like I said before in our first episode, I said that widowhood is a place of strength. It's not a place of pity. The fact that you are a widow does not mean you will stand upon these Bible verses and you begin to commit all manner of atrocities. When God wants to defend you and you soil your hands, God will leave you alone. And trust me, the devil will mess you up. He will watch the devil mess you up. That is God for you. When your hands are not clean, maybe your husband died and you started living bad life, you abandoned your children, because there are so many women like that. You abandon your children, you begin to live all manner of useless life just because you are a widow. God is not going to step into your case. Trust me, God will step into your case when you live right. It's just like somebody coming to, it's just like prophecy, somebody giving you prophecy that, oh, it shall be well with you. By this time tomorrow, God is going to bless you. And God is going to bless you with so and so. And you just go home and you relax, doing nothing. You didn't pray about it for the prophecy to materialize. You didn't pray about it for the prophecy to manifest. It is going to be mere words. But when you back it up with prayer and actions, that is when it will become a prophecy and it will come to pass. Exactly what I'm trying to say here. The fact that God has promised to take care of you as a widow, to defend you, to fight for you, is not enough reason for you to go out there, do all manner of evil, exploit people, manipulate people, take advantage of people's love for you, take advantage of people's support, and then you expect God to step into your case. I know that times are hard for people, but I see a lot of widows, they just stay, they don't do anything. They are jobless. Not like there are no petty jobs around them that they can do. They just stay. And all they want to do is ask you for money, and when you refuse, they start telling you I'm a widow, trying to blackmail you and all of that. What am I trying to say? I'm not trying to say that it's not right for you to help a widow, or it's wrong for a widow to demand or ask for help. I am trying to say that you as a widow or a widower, you should uphold yourself first, and then help will come. Trust me. Do not abuse these Bible passages. Do not say because Sandra said, or the Bible said, God defends the widows, people should help the widows, give them food, and you fold your hands in a country like Nigeria. Hunger will kill you and your children. You have to stand up. If it's farm work available at that point, do it with all joy and sincerity. God will step in. When people even come to help you, they will see that you're working hard, that you're not lazy. And then they will now know how to step into helping you. Maybe in the next episode, I'm going to share the businesses I did, trying to get back to my feet. So that you know that the fact that you lost your husband is not enough reason for you to just stay and keep begging. No. Get something doing. Put yourself to work. Start working. Do something. Just do anything. Do something. I will share the jobs I've done with you guys so that you understand that you don't just sit and relax and say, okay, fine, manna is going to fall from heaven. Gone are the days when manna fell. Manna no longer fall now. You just have to be doing something while you wait upon God to come. And trust me, when you are on the right track, when the enemy comes like a flood, the Spirit of God will lift up a standard against them. Like people coming to frustrate your life, people coming to attack you, people coming to take your husband's property, God will put them to shame. Even if they succeed, God is seeing all of that. He is not asleep. Okay? So I believe that this video is, even if it's one person that understands this video and benefits from it, I know that a lot of videos out there are going to pick offense. I'm not saying that I'm perfect. But trust me, even in my lowest time, I was working. I was looking out for something to do. One of the things that helped me, I am here to share the tips. There is no kind of job I didn't do. I am going to be bringing all of that to the channel. So at this point, I believe I've passed my message across in this particular video. And don't forget that we are still on the topic widowhood. And what we talked about in this video is widowhood being exaggerated. We discussed the Bible verses where God talked about widows and how he defends, he's interested in them, how he's their father, how he's their husband, how he's the father of the fatherless, how he's the husband of the widow, and how God gave widows hope to live again, that they are not the worst people on earth, and that their downfall is not the end of the road for them, and how you are not to abuse these Bible verses. Okay, maybe in my next video I'm going to tell you what will happen if you abuse these Bible verses. But for now, I have to go. Thank you so much for watching the video, and I'm going to see you guys again in our next episode on Talk with Sandra. Bye.